Hey guys, it's Amar Rahim, and I sound like, has anyone seen the video? Hey guys, it's Nicole. Oh, hi guys, it's Nicole. That's what I sound like. This is vlog 13. So I'm getting distracted by the football, Spain versus Portugal. But no more. I'm gonna turn it off actually. There we go. Turn it off. Anyway, this is vlog 13. Um, I did today. What did I do? I didn't really do a lot today. I went to the studio actually. Woke up, went for a walk with my wife. We had breakfast, and then we went into town. She met her friend, and then I went to the studio to sort some stuff out. But it's been a while since I've been in the studio and actually sat in there for a couple of hours and actually started to do some creativeness. I've done some stuff for social media, Instagram, so that'll be on there. So you won't get to see the video here, but if you follow me on Instagram, then you'll see it there. Which is pretty good. I was able to cook because I'm trying to write a play, so being in that space really helped me out because I was like, oh, I'm surrounded by a lot of art. I had a good conversation with one of the artists at the studio, so it's a shared studio space in the sense that there's like little cubicles, like everyone has their own space cubicle in a way. Um, some are bigger than the others, um, so you can go around and see all the artists, and it's very beautiful to see how much talent there is in Leicester. And me and him had a good conversation. We were just talking about creatives in Leicester and how Leicester, um, not like the big regions like Manchester, Liverpool, London, uh, like Glasgow, all these big places, or bigger places that have a lot of opportunity for talent. And we're saying that there's so much talent in Leicester, but there's not a lot of opportunities, which is a shame. And then we started talking about different artists that inspire us for our work and whatnot. And I was trying to tell him that I like to implement different mediums together and complement one another. Uh, so yeah, I came up with a good idea for a play actually. Um, and since I've been reading, like I've been feeling something within myself a lot about like wanting to start a revolution and like stuff like that. I'm reading a lot of revolutionaries um, and different kind of stories and all that kind of stuff. And I think it goes with what's happening in the world right now. So I'm kind of relating to those things. And inside of me, have enough of seeing it. Like, just for me, I want to do more. Like, I want to go on more marches. I want to stand up when someone says something about like Palestine or Congo or Cuba or Venezuela and all these places that are suffering by the hands of the rich, the Western world, Europe, um, America, Australia. Do you know what I mean? There's these places that are have their grips and still have their dirty little fingers in the resources and the um, economy of small countries. Uh, so there's this thing that's inside of me that wants to do more. I want to voice this more. I want to try to make a change. And for me, the best way I can do it because I don't feel like I'm like the greatest at talking or like saying like these big fancy words or whatnot. I'm not saying that that's what you need. By you knowing fancy words or big words doesn't equalize to you being like a activist or like a yeah like an activist. Do you know what I mean? Um, you don't have to know those big words. It's your actions and what you do with them. So that's what I do know that. But in the sense, what I mean is that I'm not good at articulating myself and saying stuff. So through my creativity, I'm able to dive into certain subjects that's happening around the world and push that forward. So I think that's what I've kind of been given this talent. That sounds so narcissistic. Um, I've been given this thing where I'm able to create stuff, and I want to use that. Um, oh yeah, I want to use that to stand up for what is right and stand up for the people and give power to the people. Uh, so that's what's going on in my brain really, and what's happening right now. So then that's the plays resemble something like that, but the way that I try to do it is more in a satire kind of way, because I believe that through comedy and kind of dark humor, people, because okay, people will go cinema or go to the theater or go to ballet or go to opera or go to all these things. They want to escape. The majority of them want to escape from reality, escape from what's happening in the real world. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to write certain things that are serious matter, but have this comedy element underneath it, or like this quirkiness or this weirdness, right? Where it leaves an imprint on their brain. So they're watching this and they're kind of laughing about it, and then when they go home, they're like, "Oh, that wasn't that wasn't really that funny though. Really, like that's actually it's actually quite sad." And I give you an example. I watched a film called Thunder Road. Um, it's a song by Springfield, but there's this guy. He directed it, wrote it, and acted in it. I think he even produced the whole thing and edited it. Um, in this film, I won't tell you a lot. I'm screaming, girl, yo, baby girl, close the door. Close the door for me, sweetie. Hey, sweetie, close the door. You're speaking too loud on that phone. Thank you, sweetie. Sorry about that, everybody. And I ain't gonna give you too much information because I hate not spoil. Yeah, it's spoiling stuff for people. But it was a very good. It's a very good film, and it's funny. It's very funny. But then I caught myself, and I was like, "This is hilarious." And then I was like, "Wait, but what the actual character is going through is really sad. Like, I'm kind of laughing at his pain, and then it kind of makes me recalculate things and like, oh shit, this is actually really deep. Like this character's actually suffering. See, there's the word. I'm trying to get that word out of my mind. Not character. This person is really suffering. This experience is really suffering. And that's what that kind of clicked to my brain. I was like, oh, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get people in the space when they're laughing and they catch themselves laughing and they're like, oh, I shouldn't really be laughing at this. This is not actually that funny. This is serious. But also, I want to have this element where I want people to question things. I want it to be weird enough. Like I made a film called The Zone, and people were like, "What the hell is that about?" Like it was quite confusing until you watch it a few times, and then you're like, "Oh, okay, that kind of makes sense." Because I want you to interpret it in your own way. I don't want to tell you the story. I don't want to say this is what it's about. For me, that's taking stuff away from taking that experience away from the audience. I want to make something, you watch it, and you keep the experience. You keep your imprint of what you want it to be, not what I think it should be, right? Because with art, you can interpret it in all different types of way. You can look at Picasso, you can look at Michelangelo. You can look at I'm forgetting any artist's name. There's a guy I seen today. His name's Mark Gelter. He was Spanish, and he did a. I got showed by actually one of the guys from the studio today, and he showed me one of that guy's art piece, and it was a uh, merry-go-round, but the way that he drew the faces, because it was during the World War, um, and there was like some festival thing for the people. Well, not during the World War, after the World War. It was for the family members and the soldiers who returned to celebrate. But the way he drew the faces, it was like a forced smile, and it was kind of eerie, and like it's very interesting because it's anyway. But when you look at art, people take it in different perspectives, right? So that's what I want to do with a lot of my plays and the theatre stuff side of stuff and the film side of stuff is that when you watch it, you put your own perspective on it, your own interpretation on it, but also that um, you come out of the cinema, or you come out of the theatre, and you're like, oh, that was blah 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 blah, but then someone else is like, no, actually, it was this, and this, and then it starts a conversation between two humans, and that's my main goal, is to get people to converse more, have that opportunity to converse, to gain this connection for a brief moment. And I think those moments are some of the beautiful moments when you have a conversation with a stranger, right? And it's not like this stranger is going to become your best friend. You have a conversation with a stranger. You talk about this thing you love. You guys love cinema or theater or whatever it is. You have this love for the art. And as an audience member, I want you to come out, have this conversation with this person. If it comes naturally, that's what it's all about, coming naturally. You have that conversation, and then it's like it leaves an imprint, and you're like, oh, actually, that conversation was good. But you carry on with your day, but it keeps on your mind. And even if you have to watch the thing a few times, it's more easier to watch like a short film, because what I want to do with the theatre side of stuff is that is a lot of it's going to be one-time performances, only because I feel like for the actor and for the director, more for the actors, is that when they perform, it is real, it's raw. That's like that first time is real and it's raw. And it's real and it's raw. She took me out my flow. It's real and it's raw. And oh, you've taken me completely out of my flow. It's not your fault though.
I thought I might as well say it now that I've just told you. It's real and it's raw.
It's real and it's raw. Yeah, it's gone. That's crazy. My flow's fully gone. Don't apologize, sexy girl. It's real and it's raw. Oh yeah, it's real and it's raw for the actor. So, um, you really get to feel it in that moment. Everything is real in that one moment. And I know if you think about Meisner, the way, if you get taught Sanford Meisner's technique, it's a lot about staying in the moment. So every performance should always feel like it's the first performance. But I think there's something nice with the nerves and the adrenaline when you have that first performance. It's like completely different than it would be for any other performance. Of course, it would be because it's the first one. But there's all this rawness, this realness. Everything is raw. All the emotions you're feeling are happening for the first time, right there and then. But for the, like I said, for the film side of stuff, it would be you're able to rewatch those kind of things, and the more you rewatch it, the more information is being given to you. Um, so yeah, that's that's where I'm at in this moment. I've kind of lost the flow where I was, where my brain was actually going, because I was going to conclude this. Blah, blah, the blah, blah, the hmm. Kind of lost it, but that's hopefully I have more of an understanding what I'm trying to do with the theatre kind of stuff, and even the film. Uh, and then, like I said yesterday, I was going to do some drawing. There's this guy called Peter Han, and I got this sketchbook, like I told you, and I did like one of his lessons in a way, his master classes. And basically, you have to do these lines. So you have to draw these small lines, and then you have to draw over it 8 times, and try and keep on the first line. And it's all about like just concentration and like being focused. So then I've been doing that. So you do it there, and then you do the wiggly lines. Well, the wiggly lines are way more harder, as you can tell. And then you do ellipses. Oh, this paper's ripping. That's insane. Then you do the ellipses when you just do eclipses. I don't know how to say ellipses, eclipses. You just do the circles. So he wants you, basically you practice that for the whole week, and he wants you to do 6 pages of that. 3 pages of the lines and the wiggly lines and the arches, and then 3 more pages of the eclipses, the circles, and then you move on gradually. So I'm gonna try and do that for the rest of the week, and then go into week 2. Ooh, I think I know where I was talking about. So the reason why I went on that whole rant earlier on is because I was saying that for me as a creative, I think it's quite important to. Um, I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. I feel like I think the reason why I'm saying this is because yesterday, me and my wife were watching this mini documentary thing about Nina Simone and how she was an activist during her time in her career. But the reason her career didn't really boom off or really get into the big stardom and the worldwide fame is because of her active. How do you say it? Activism, not activism. Oh yeah, activism. Um, Standing like doing a lot of marches with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and no, Martin Luther King, um, and these two other poets. I can't remember their names. I'm awful with names. Um, and then she even worked with one of the poets, and that helped her write some of the lyrics for some of her songs. Um, but yeah, they were saying that her career didn't really boom off because of the activism, and then back then, a lot of well, the actual industry was ran by white people. So those high elite white people who didn't like her being an activist kind of stunted her growth, stunted her career, and which ended up her moving away, not just because of that, but because of other personal things with her husband and all that kind of stuff. Um, but I think when I watch stuff like that, it's like, how can I or people in like this time not fight for what is right and just when back in the day there was more consequences and there was more backlash because racism's always going to be around, but especially back then, like they were lynching black people from trees in America, and they had the sundown towns. Like those stuff was still going on. It's not happening now. It's not happening now in the world. It's happening in a different type of way, where they're like trying to make it more nice looking and make people think, oh yeah, we're not racist, but truly behind the closed doors, they're planning stuff in certain ways to actually stop the growth of other individuals and other races. But in what I'm kind of talking about is that how can I right now, as a black man in England who's been to school, college, and university, and have had lots of jobs and actually still work around the UK, right? I've been all over the UK doing different types of work. I've been in so many different places, traveling, being able to travel the world and have this freedom. How can I not fight for what's right when there was people back in the day, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, the Black Panther, Che Guevara, Castro, um, Nelson Mandela, all these people back then who were being punished way more than I would ever be, right? And tried to be assassinated as well on a daily basis. How can I, as an artist, not fight for what is right when I've been given this? I said talent, but like I've been given like this creativeness. How can I not use it to help other people when I feel that art has always kind of been that way. Art's always been for the people. It's not been for the elitist or for the rich ass people, for the elitist, for the upper class. It's always been for the people who have a struggle and want to um, may not be able to say their feelings out and say their feelings with words, but being able to use it through their creativeness, um, and also use that creativeness to fight the eliteness in this world. So it's like how's it got to that stage where I'm not meant to, what's it called, be political as an artist? When it's like, well, art's always been political. You can go all the way in history, art has always been political since the start of time. When art first started, it's always been political. So how can I not be political? Or how can other artists say that they can't be political? And it's just like things like that, each for their own. I'm not in control of anyone else's life, and I don't want to tell people what to do. But at the same time, I feel like you have to say things sometimes so people can wake up. and actually do what is right. But if I ain't gonna force someone, if you ain't gonna do it, that's your like you do you on that side, and I'll be over on this side, and you can judge me all you want, but that doesn't really, it just doesn't fucking bother me, sweetie. I just couldn't care less. Um, I think I just really wanted to say that and get across that point because I feel like a lot of people are probably fearful or scared sometimes to say what they actually believe in. And hey, I can do that sometimes as well. Where like in conversations at work, people may say something and I might keep quiet. And I'm like, when I get home, I'm like, why am I being quiet? Why should I be quiet? Why are you able to say what you want? But then when I say something, it's a problem. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really want to, well, I want to break out of that. And the way I feel like I can break out of that is by using my art to do so. Well, so yeah, that's where my brain is at, and that's where I'm heading towards. Um, and but yeah, then we went out after all of that. I went out for dinner with my wife and some friends of ours. It was a really nice time. We had a good time. We had a good meal, relaxed and chilled. And then we came home, and then my wife went to do some vintage because she's a queen at selling stuff.
For real.
And then I was obviously doing this artwork, and then I started watching the football, and I said, "Hey, I might do your log and stop doing it too late because I actually do like these long content instead of having to make it short because I don't have enough time. I want to talk more and get more what's out of my brain and my chest for future. I might to look back and be like, hey, my boy, don't betray yourself. Stay the same. Never betray yourself for anyone else. Not for any money." Also, that's what I want to say as well. Of course, money is the root to all evilness. But we all need it in this world to survive. You know what I mean? Gotta pay bills, gotta buy food, gotta do all these things, man. So, like, I understand the value of money, but money is not all that I seek in this world. So, even with my art, my creativeness, I'm not always in my head. I kind of always listen to my heart where I need to go. Sometimes you get that feeling like, oh, actually, I don't want to do that. And when it comes to my creativeness, of course, I know my value as an artist. And I read a book actually saying real artists don't starve. And it talks about the whole myth of the starving artist myth. And it's like, that shit's bullshit. That's what the book talks about. It's like, it's all yippity yappity yap. You have to work to earn money to then use that money towards your art. Like you shouldn't be doing this whole starving artist whole thing. Plus the whole starving artist, a lot of it is like individualism, like you doing it on your own. And it's like the book talks about there's peers and people around you who can inspire you and help you. And all the greatest artists you think about, Michelangelo, Picasso, all these people had peers they looked up to, or mentors they looked up to that helped them get them to where they needed to be. So yeah, that's in my head, that the whole money thing with my art. I'm never gonna kind of betray my values and my morals for money, especially if it comes to my creativeness. Or someone's telling me, oh, if you take this section out, then we'll give you the money and the funding you need. Well, you know what you can do with that? Stick it up your ass. That's what I'll say. So that's why I want to try and keep truthful to myself and tell other people to always be truthful to yourself. Because if you don't, you're going to look back and be like, damn. But also, hello? Hello? I think Mum's in that room.
Oh, okay.
But also for me as well, I've got a daughter. So I want to do these things, what I believe in, and go forward. So then when she grows up, it's like a little, it's like a little diary or like a little inspiration and motivation to tell her to go out and do the things that she believes in and not allow anyone else to stump her growth as a human being, and always to stand up for what is right and wrong in the world. So that's what pushes me a lot of the times. so then I can inspire her to be like, hey, young lady, especially as a woman, as a lady, in this world it is tough. And I've learned that a lot from my sister, my mum, my friends around me, but mostly as well my wife. You know, right? Like the struggles that women actually do go through in this world. So now me having a daughter, I'm like, hey, girl, it's not gonna be easy, girl. So I want to armor up with the right weapons to let her go into the world. So, well, that is a lot. That's like 25 minutes, dude. Thank you guys for listening. I'll see you in the next one, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow, what I will do, I need to sort out some stuff, preparation for my daughter, because she's coming here in about 2 weeks. I need to pack some stuff because me and my wife are moving out of this house. So that's what's going to happen this week. And the reason I'm saying on here is so then tomorrow, when I do my log in the evening, I'll be like, guys, I did what I needed to do. Isn't that right?
That's right.
So thank you for listening. Peace.